Okay, so we're just gonna go over the home healthcare at a high level. How many of you, the queen of home healthcare is Lori? Is Lori here? There she is. She sold a bunch of these. How many of you actually remember selling these from a couple years ago? Cool. So it'll be a recap. Some of the things have changed, but not a whole lot. So this is extremely important from a compliance standpoint. It's not long-term care. It is short-term care. Do we need to go over the difference between short-term and long-term? Do we know the difference? Cool. I didn't know the exact definition, but yeah, one's short and one's long. Okay. So we want to make sure that the customers don't get confused that it's not long-term care, it's short-term care. Okay. So we want to think from a sales standpoint. The value proposition is it pays you cash to recover at home. Is that simple? Right? So if we think of the mechanism that causes an accident plan that triggers the outcome, when you have an unexpected accident, you get a check, right? When you have an illness, two of the 6 daily activities, or a cognitive disability diagnosed by a doctor, you get paid to recover at home, right? So if there was a program that paid you to recover at home, is that something you'd be interested in? Okay, that's kind of the value proposition at a high level. If there was a program that actually paid you to recover at home, is that something you'd be interested in? If there was a program that paid you to get help around the house, is that something you'd be interested in? Okay? Yes. So if there was a program that paid you to recover at home, is that something you would be interested in? Or if there was a program that paid you to get help around the house, is that something you'd be interested in? So we don't want to get into the details in the very beginning. It will overwhelm people. It will overwhelm people. And I heard that a lot yesterday in Vancouver when people were trying to present this, is they diarrhea the mouth and over-explained everything, which is better than not offering it at all. But what do you think every single customer asked them to send them? Can you send me the information in the mail, right? So how does it work? You get sick and want to recover at home, you get a check. That's how it works. Okay, cool. So what are some benefits of home health care? It's pretty obvious. You get to recover from the comfort of your own home. Pretty much common sense. If you had the option to recover at the hospital or get paid to recover at home, which one would you pick? Most people, every once in a while there's going to be a weirdo that says, I love the hospital. Said no one ever. But just in case, that's just a what? A no. We can't fix stupid. You get more personalized care. And a big thing for these customers, and do we know as a whole collectively what is the underlying causes for the majority of diseases? It's stress. It's anxiety, right? Causes inflammation in the body, which then triggers a bunch of other diseases or disorders or whatever. So it helps reduce stress and anxiety on the customer, which is huge. Who else does it reduce stress for, do you think? Can't even see that. Family. Family and friends, right? Some people will say that they have family to help them, but here's the reality, Mrs. Jones. Do you want your daughter to wipe your butt or a professional wipe your butt? Most people would want the professional, okay? So how is it triggered? This is the mechanism, like the accident. They have to have an unexpected accident. They need to be, you can't see the pointer, can you? A licensed healthcare practitioner needs to confirm that they have a cognitive issue, cognitive impairment, or they need help, hands-on help with 2 of the 6 daily activities. And we'll go over what those 6 are. It's extremely important that you remember what the 6 daily activities are. It's extremely important. Go ahead.
When you say they have...
Better question for the doctors. The doctor has to determine that you have some sort of cognitive issue.
You can have issues and not have it be somewhere to get here inside the facility. You know?
Yeah. Go ahead, Heather. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I can't hear over here.
Yeah, that's fair. So, question was, how do they determine cognitive impairment? That's up to the professional. It's not up to me or the customer. Not up to me or the customer. It's up to the doctor. Yeah. So they don't have to have full dementia. That would probably potentially require a more in-depth facility.
Quick question on practitioner. Nurse practitioner qualifies?
Yeah, so let's write down the questions and then ask them at the end, because some of this stuff will be answered. No, that's okay. No worries. What? Yes. What triggers it? There's 2 things. A licensed professional confirms you have a cognitive impairment, or that you need help with 2 of the 6 daily living activities. And the benefit pays each day for covered services. And there's 2 different buckets, and we'll cover those here in just a moment. Okay, so here are the 6 daily living activities. We have bathing, pretty self-explanatory. We have dressing, eating. In case some people are confused, that's getting food and fluids into your body. We have toileting. That is getting to and from the toilet, on and off the toilet, and cleaning yourself. We have continence, which is controlling your bladder, bowels, and managing your personal hygiene. And then the last one is transferring, which is moving for, let's say, in and out of bed, from a chair, basically getting around the house in a safe manner. So the 6 are bathing, dressing, eating, toileting, continence, and transferring. If they have trouble with 2 of those, and a licensed professional says so, that triggers the coverage. Okay, so the combined daily maximum for the coverage is $300 for a professional. And I'll go over the specific professionals that are covered here momentarily. But they can get up to $300 cash reimbursement or cash to them for a licensed professional to come in. For example, a nurse practitioner, a speech therapist, a physical therapist, a chemotherapy specialist, those type of things. And they pay a different dollar figure for each specialist. But let's say you needed a physical therapist and they paid out $150, and then you needed a speech therapist. You can combine professional services as long as you don't exceed the $300 daily value. You would just then have to pay out of pocket. Any questions about that? Okay. So a couple things. What's the benefit, right? A lot of people may say they already have what? Help. What else is covered in Medicare Advantage plans? Okay. What's the big difference? It's the same thing with an accident plan. Who does their, oh, go ahead, Heather. Yahtzee. So their current plan pays who? Doctors and professionals. This insurance pays who?
The patient.
The customer. Do you see the advantage for the customer? Since I started with Andrew, he's always tried to find products that are advantageous for the customer, We'll go over why they would offer something like this when necessarily it's not super advantageous for the insurance company. So it gives them flexibility of use and reduces worry. Pretty self-explanatory for some of the benefits. Okay, so there's a separate bucket. We have $300 for professional help in the home. And then we have a separate bucket, which is for a home health aid. It used to be $80. It's gone up to $100. And that's for the middle plan. Okay, there's, I think, A, B, and C are the 3 different options. We're just covering B for the sake of simplicity. And normally it's the most cost effective for the customer. Okay? So the home health aid can help with hands-on, with bathing, dressing, with any of the 6 daily activities. Now, can they say, well, they mow my lawn? That's up to the person helping, right? That's up to the person helping. Will they do my laundry? That's up to the person that's helping them. Go ahead.
I'm a little confused.
Nope.
This is the same plan.
It's the same plan. There's 2 different buckets. There's the reimbursement or cash payment for having a licensed health professional come give you care in the comfort of your own home.
Okay.
They're not a healthcare professional.
So it's like going to someone's home and helping them with basic life activities.
A home health aid, yeah.
Skilled nursing, one is not.
Yes.
One could be a friend.
As long as they're certified, they have to be certified. Yep. So you can have a duration of 60 days per covered episode, okay? So it doesn't have to be 60 consecutive days. They could get help 3 days a week, right, and push that out. Once they hit 60 days of having a home health aid, there's a restoration period. And I'll go over the restoration period in a moment. But after 60 days, that bucket turns off. Okay? 60 days of help in a calendar year, they then need to wait for the coverage to restore itself. Remember, that's separate from the professional health, the health professional, thank you, goodness. So, what's super cool about this, and another potential selling point, is, and why it makes sense, is they get reimbursements for medications. So the coverage can pretty much pay for itself. For Plan B, for generic meds, it's $10 reimbursement. Okay? It's $10 reimbursement. For brand name, it's $25. For a maximum reimbursement of $600 a calendar year. So hypothetically, if they get 5, it's on refill, right? They get reimbursed on refill. So if they get their medications in 90 days, they would get it every 90 days when they refill their medications. If they get their medications monthly, they would get it every time they fill their medications monthly. Go ahead.
There's one catch to that.
Okay.
Clients can choose not to do the on that basis, and they can wait 6 months or a year.
Yep.
and all-
Yes, that is accurate.
They can submit their receipts for their prescriptions once a year for the full $600.
If
So
they
you
want
have
to.
60 refills in the year, you saved all your receipts, you get $600. Does that make sense? It just needs to be at least one time.
And it doesn't have to be with the exact records, just anybody can get their mail.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then also they don't have to.
Yep.
You'll be submitting your receipts every year. We have clients that still submit them every year for the last 8 years, 9 years now, every year, and they haven't used the plan yet. Because it's paying for, well, he'll get it, paying for most of the premium.
Yep. Yes. What makes it Plan B? That's what they named it.
Going over it.
Yes, so there's 3 different coverage amounts. One pays, let's say, $60 a day, reimburses you up to $200. This one, $300 reimbursement, up to $100 for a home health aid. The next one is a larger benefit amount, but costs a bigger monthly premium. All the plans are the same. The only difference is how much you pay monthly and the cash benefit of the program. Yep. All of them are the same. The only thing that's different is the dollar figures on what it pays out and what they pay for the protection. Okay. So, how do they prove their medications? They get receipts from the pharmacy. That's the easiest way. They can get receipts from the pharmacy. So the restoration period, it takes 180 days for the restoration period for the home health aid. So if they've used the home health aid for 60 days, yes.
That's why we use GTL, guys. They have
Really?
60 days or a year of benefits.
Cool.
He grabbed that from a Manhattan Lifestyle, so not Blaine's fault on that. But GTL covers 1 year of home health aid. It will keep you in your house with somebody to help you with your ADLs for 1 year. That's why that plan is so important to people. Does that make sense? Can I get a nod?
Yeah.
If that
So
does.
that means the 60
A
day
year
thing
compared to
doesn't
2
apply.
months.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's no restoration period.
There is a restoration of 360, then you'd have to take a 180-day break.
Got it.
Get it for a year,
To do it again.
Okay.
6 months off, get it another year.
The 1 year doesn't apply to that.
Will we remember to let Vancouver know that?
Correct. So people are going to ask, like, can I go on and off it? Look, when you start using home health aid and your health goes deteriorates like that, you're going to use it until you go into a assisted living facility. That's just the normal route of life that goes. You're not going to use it for 4 days, wait 6 months, go use it for another month, wait 6, no. You're going to use it and you're going to a facility. I mean, that's just life, right? So you're going to use it for up to a year, and then during that time period for the year, you're going to figure out what assisted living facility that you're going to go into if you're still on.
And you're gonna figure out how to pay for it.
Yeah, and you got to figure out how to pay for it. You need to sell your house, cash in your stocks, whatever. Your parents are going to, or your kids are going to pay for it, whatever.
Go on Medicaid.
So I'd say a caveat to that is, let's say they fall down and break their hip like my grandma did.
Yep.
Granted, she got bucked off a horse. She didn't fall down. Maybe it's one and the same. But, right, if you're recovering from, let's say, a surgery, maybe you don't die at the end of the year. Maybe you just recover. And then you would have the restorative period.
So, where'd you get that from?
This was from 2024 GTL.
I don't see any changes on that, so it looks like you can renew it twice.
And just so we're clear, you can use it non-consecutively. So like, so
You can do the 6-month waiting
you
period.
could do a 2 to 3
Oh.
month period where you're
That too isn't saying you can do it twice, Justin. They just named point 1, point 2. So there isn't a limit to the restoration periods. Now that may change if we get further detail, but it wasn't in the
Yeah. So I get nervous.
brochure.
I get nervous when we start trying to break this down nitty gritty like this.
Yeah.
I think it's very helpful for you guys to understand the plans and actually read the benefit summary, just like Blaine's showing you. But do not explain this to the consumer. Not just like you started that conversation. You guys are going to get all this information. And you're going to be all excited to tell the consumers about all this stuff, and you're just going to start talking about numbers, and then they're going to say, "Can you send that to me in the mail?" Right?
Yeah.
It is good for you to understand this stuff if they have an actual question that they ask you and they direct it towards you. But do not volunteer this information. They will have it in their packets. They'll have it in their policy. They can review it, send it back if they hate it, right? Or if they feel like you lied to them or whatever. But you'll never even get the packet sent out to them, the policy sent out to them, if you just start reading off everything on the brochure. Just like we do, like you don't read everything in a summary of benefits, right? We just snapshot, move on.
Is everyone clear on that point number 2 made, or same point made twice? Super important. Super
We'll probably
important.
make it a third time, too.
Yeah. So pre-existing conditions and diagnoses. It won't cover, or I should say there is a waiting period for pre-existing conditions or diagnosis. So if they've gone to a doctor and the doctor says you're gonna need hip replacement, and then you buy the protection, it's not gonna cover the recovery from the hip replacement. Does that make sense?
If it's scheduled.
If they've, so I'm not gonna split hairs on that. In their medical record, if they have met a doctor that says you're gonna need hip replacement in the future and it's scheduled or not, that is a diagnosis, right here, a diagnosis that they're going to need hip replacement. So,
Somebody's asking you a specific question, it's already in their medical records, they're not gonna qualify.
yeah.
Okay? So if they're like, oh, well, would my, whatever they bring up specifically, they're gonna be denied. Because they're already using, nobody just magically comes up with a scenario. They're using one from their life. Yeah,
You can still get them, this is a pre-existing condition, couldn't be utilized.
yeah, they're gonna deny it.
They're gonna deny it, or
Yeah.
whatever.
So just move on. Say,
Just-
sorry,
Gotcha.
too late, I should have called you years ago.
So,
I mean, they don't have to be
But
healthy,
like
they
no
just can't
pre-existing
have,
condition.
they just can't need a home health care plan right now.
Does that count for COVID?
Yeah, you have to mention now you can't get on the plan. That'll be the 3 underwriting questions that they ask. And that'll probably be a
Like car insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 180 days for a pre-existing condition. It's 180 days. So let's pretend they have a health condition, they get approved for the plan, and then they have a different type of event. It will cover the other event. Not if it was caused by the first condition, though.
I just want to know, like, so my applications go through.
Yeah, but let's use, they can't get from the couch to the field.
Totally. That
And
makes
then they're gonna buy the plan and magically they have another condition that pops
So
up.
like, let's say for that example, they said they need an improvement of years ago, I can get them, it's gonna go through.
Yeah, it'll go through,
That's
yeah,
more
but they're
about-
not gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
What we don't want to do is set the customer up for failure.
Yeah, you're saying, because they're gonna remember, the only thing that the consumer's gonna remember is that you said this is gonna be covered. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Consumers only remember the positive things that you tell them when it's something that's gonna benefit them. And then they're gonna use that against you for compliance reasons and say, oh, well, just like, look at all the, oh, I didn't consent to enroll in that plan. How many times do we get that every day? So, which, yeah, we can prove to over and over again. That's the same scenario. We just don't wanna don't set yourself up for failure like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, if they have a pre-existing condition that would deny them coverage today, move on.
And just don't
Yeah,
submit it.
your license is worth more to you than trying to get somebody coverage that may or may not be able to get it on a new condition that's never been thought of yet, right? Protect yourself.
We aren't even going to spend much time. Okay, there's a
That waiting period one, well, how many days is that now? I think it's like 60 days or something.
Yesterday, Brian said there was no waiting period. There's no like seasoning.
Yeah, so people say, you know, how soon can I use this? Well, if they're saying that, that means they already need it,
Yeah.
right?
There isn't a waiting period for a quote unquote new condition.
New condition.
Yeah.
But if someone's asking you, like somebody's asking you, oh, is there a waiting period? Can I use this tomorrow if I get it? Yes, but has someone told you that you needed to use it already? If they say yes, then they don't qualify.
Yeah.
It's just like what Florey said, these guys are asking to get car insurance after they wreck their car. Same concept.
I mean, yeah, you can look at it that way. If you get full coverage on your car and the next day you file a claim because somebody vandalized your car, the insurance company is going to investigate. I would say it's different because, yeah, Advantage plans, they'll cover that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit different. The claims process is easy. You can submit, at least to the best of my knowledge, you all can correct me on this, electronically, and then they pay funds generally within 2 weeks. They send a check. You might be able to set up electronic if you call in, but most likely it will be sent via check, and most of those customers would be confused. If they just got money deposited in their account and they'd say they never received it. That stuff wasn't in there. Okay, so there's some additional riders in the policy for ambulance and then accident and sickness. Those amounts may be slightly higher now. Because like I said, the PDF that I looked at was a couple years old. My bad.
Yep, you guys won't put any additional riders on there.
It's just going to increase the cost, and most likely the customer will say no. Okay, this is not a real story. It's fake news. Okay, so here's some examples. A doctor informs you need help with 2 daily activities. You can receive up to $300 per day for covered health visits. Right? These are some high-level statements you can make or how to explain the product. A doctor documents a cognitive impairment. You receive daily cash at home plus aid days for hands-on tasks. You get covered nurses or therapy visits, pays up to $300. Here's a big one. What's the number one problem that our customers and clients have? They have a shortage of what? What's the number one then objection you get from customers? Okay, this is why this is so amazing. Because they can darn near get the entire thing for free through the reimbursement program if they're taking 5 or more meds. So the cost went up a couple dollars over the last year or so. So it might cost them 25 cents a day. It might cost them $5 or $6 a month after their reimbursement. Every state's different. Every state's going to be different, right? Also, the age is going to impact the premium. But the majority of people, if they take 5 or more meds, can get this additional protection or program for less than 50 cents a day, generally around $10. Yeah. Nope.
No, because they live in a care facility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there a maximum raise?
A little bit louder.
It's all 360? Oh, wow.
For the $300 a day?
And then there was
Yeah.
6 months in your house, a year, right?
No. No facility. No facility. Hold on. Wait.
Sorry, never paying attention, bro.
Hold up, everybody. Go ahead. Is Ken? Yeah, go ahead.
Do they need to be using the policy for the prescription benefit to kick into place?
Good question. No, they don't need to use the policy. They could just get the reimbursement.
So they could be healthy taking 6 prescriptions.
That's the whole point.
Get the policy, and then when they need it, it's there.
Correct.
Meanwhile, their drugs paid for it the whole time.
Yes,
That
yes.
is the pitch.
That's the whole purpose. If you need it, you can't get it. Sorry, you already crashed your health. You don't qualify for help anymore. It's just the way it works. Go ahead, and then I'll go this way.
What can I save? Because I feel like this reimbursement.
Yep.
Just so I don't get
If they'll reimburse you up to $50 a month or $60.
There isn't a monthly cap.
What's that?
There isn't a monthly cap.
Correct. It's, yeah.
You're just doing the math.
Yeah, it'll reimburse you your 50. If you're taking 20 generic meds, they'll give you a $200 check.
Yep.
Okay? You send in 20 receipts for that period of time, they're going to give you 20 times on 10.
compliance-wise, do I just want to make
Here's compliance. You get $10 reimbursement for every generic medication you get filled, or $25 for every brand name medication you get filled. You get $10 reimbursement for every generic medication you get filled, or $25 for every brand name medication you get filled. Compliant, that's how it states.
The reason why we use 5 is because 5 times 12 is 60. 60 times 10 is 600. That's the max. So it's easy for us to break down and say, because you're taking more than 5 medications and you're a responsible consumer, that you'll send in your receipts, you get your $600 back. Whether you send them all in today, tomorrow, or 11 months down the road.
Let's answer this. Hopefully it's common sense. They can't send in old receipts prior to this being in effect. They won't get money for old prescriptions. For the middle plan. For Plan B, yes. Go ahead. Yeah, no, they have to file a claim. Maybe I skipped it.
You file, send that in.
You did cover it.
So there's an easy claim process. You can do it electronically or send it in, right? As their agent, be there to help them facilitate that process. A licensed professional, right, has to say they need help with 2 of the 6 daily activities, or they have some sort of cognitive disability, right? So hypothetically, if they fall down, they go to the hospital, they have an option of staying in the hospital because they can't take care of themselves at home. That would qualify them to go home, and then down some of these slides here, they could then have a therapist come in. What? Where's the dang amounts? Maybe I didn't put them in here. They aren't in here. But they could have a therapist come in and then get paid $150 reimbursement for the therapist, or whatever else, plus the home aid. Yeah. Correct. Yep. The whole thing is, what do elderly people not have extra? They don't have extra money. They don't plan for getting extra help around the house. Here's the thing, Mrs. Jones, do you think over the next 10 years, silly question, it's going to get easier or harder to get around the house and take care of yourself? And what do you have set aside or planned for when that happens? Oh, my kids, awesome. If there's a way that you could actually get paid to have somebody professionally come into your house and help you, would you choose to put that burden and stress on your kids and family, or would you rather put that on the professional? I want to put it on my kids and family. You're a shitty parent. Congratulations. I mean, no one's going to say that, right? Right? And maybe they go, so I have my grandma, she has dementia. They have help during the day, and then my stepmom and my stepdad stay overnight, right? They rotate. They rotate. So hypothetically, the kid, if they still want the family helps for 4 hours, the professional comes in and helps for 4 hours, right? So they could split shifts. Even if a family helps, do they want to be attached to that family member for 24 hours a day? Either way, it's a win-win. Go ahead. Nope. They could pay $0 for their medications. They could pay $0 for their medications. They could pay $10,000 for their medications. Their reimbursement is $10 for generic per medication or $25 per brand name. What they pay does not matter.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lucas. You're going to need to speak louder. Yeah.
Obviously, they have to be licensed as a home health care aide and be licensed in that form. Now, there's a new benefit that can let any family member that is not being paid by a home health care agency get a one-time lump sum payment of $3,500,
Phenomenal.
which more than covers any of the premium and anything else, once they are certified to be able to receive home health care. So they still have to have a cognitive impairment or be certified to not be able to do 2 out of the 6 daily living activities. And that $3,500 payment is sent to either the client that's paying for the plan, or they can have it sent directly to the family member that's going to take care of them as their caregiver.
And they can't already be a caregiver for that family member, obviously, because then they probably wouldn't qualify.
They can, they just can't be a licensed home.
It can't
Okay.
be a job.
Oh, okay. Got it. So so it's to replace the income they're going to lose to go take care of the family member, essentially.
It's okay.
So in Blaine's scenario that you just used, to piggyback that one, you had a parent that's staying with a grandparent overnight or something like that.
Yep.
If they went and got the little online certification, then they would get the $3,500 payment. And this will get brought up on somebody's call probably today. They'll ask, oh, well, can I get paid if I'm taking care of my parent? Well, now you can actually say yes, right? Before we had to say no, and they say it in a joking manner, just, kind of lighthearted. But now you can actually say, yeah, you can get paid for that.
Yeah.
But you have to be certified.
I have not.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a whole little, it's just an online
I
certification.
want to clear some air. You don't have to be certified for the $3,500 benefit.
Oh, I thought you said
If
you
you
did.
are certified, you get the home health care.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So certified, $100 a day. Non-certified, one-time $3,500. CTO pays. Yes, CTO would pay that person.
So the question is, who pays the $3,500? GTL pays the friend or family member the $3,500. Probably 14 days, just like any other one. Yeah. So, never mind. I don't have the answer. There's probably. So these are great questions. Yeah, these are great questions. And this is what I say to the customer. My grandparents told me, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. $3,500 is better than a kick in the rear end. So even if it doesn't restore, don't you think $3,500 is better than nothing?
Yeah.
Because last year you got 0. So customers are going to ask this stuff. 99% of the time, the more questions we answer with detailed information, the less likely there actually are to say yes. Because our brain is built to keep us safe, not to help us be successful. So the more information we have to process, the more likely we are to go, too much, let me think about it. Less is always more. Find one thing that they need through a discovery and then focus on that. If they're super healthy, oh my God, there's a phenomenal program. It's actually called gives you a prescription rebate for up to $10 for every generic and $25 for every brand name. And you said you pay 0 for your medications, phenomenal. On top of that, in the event you get sick and can't take care of yourself, they'll actually send you up to $300 a day. Is that something you'd be interested in? Just simple.
Point. Your guys' presentations, I want you to only focus on 2 things. I guess third will be the premium. The premium, the prescription rebate, and the home health aid. Do not discuss anything else. All the extra stuff that's in that plan, skip it. Right? all the skilled nursings and all the, I don't even know what's in there. There's all sorts of crap in there, right? That the consumer can get paid. Focus on those three things: the premium, the home health aid, and what's the other one? The reimbursement, the prescription rebate.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just one piece of clarity for sales, this is going to cause problems. Don't say it's a prescription reimbursement, because reimbursement implies that you have to have paid something to get money back.
What's
It
the
is
appropriate-
strictly a benefit.
Okay.
If you pay $0, you get paid $10.
So it's a-
for generic.
Is it,
It's
what's it
$0
called?
for brand name,
It's a benefit. Okay, so it's not a rebate, it's a benefit.
it's a benefit.
Okay. Did everyone hear that? Don't say rebate or reimbursement, because that insinuates they're having to pay something. It's a benefit. Prescription benefit. Pays you how much for generic? $10. How much for the other one? What's it called? Brand name. Did someone raise their hand over here? Yeah. Yep. The restoration period is 180 days.
Okay, they just redo it at the year.
Yep. Yes. So it's big. What do they have planned as they get older when they need help around the house? What do you have in place as you age and things get harder, like cooking, cleaning, bathing, transferring, taking care of yourself? What do you have in place for when that stuff gets difficult? Nothing. Oh my God. There's actually a phenomenal program that would fit your situation perfect. Because you're healthy and you take 5 medications, you're gonna absolutely love it. Unfortunately, not everybody qualifies, but if you do qualify, would that be something you'd be interested in, getting help around the house when you need it? Yes, great. Let's see if you qualify, and then I'll go over the details. Does that sound fair? If you go over the details first, game over.
So they have to be.
No, you can take 0 meds. The hook for the 5, and why I keep saying that, great question, is normally at 5 medications, the premium is paid for by itself. Because you can take 0 meds, but then they're gonna be having to pay $60 a month out of their pocket. You can take 0 medications, 1 medication, any number of medications in theory, and get this. The selling point though for the customer, since their biggest concern is how much does it cost, is if they're taking 5 medications, it pretty much pays for itself. Because they're getting back $600 annually through the benefit, the prescription benefit. Yeah.
Yeah, Blake.
Sheesh.
You got
Go ahead, Lucas. Louder. Yes.
yeah, because they.
I thought that was one of the benefits. If they have Medicaid, right?
The Medicaid one's interesting because if you're on Medicaid, well then you would probably go into a Medicaid facility.
And not get
Which is covered by the state. So with assisted living facilities, what normally happens for seniors is because they cost $15,000 in Oregon to stay in a facility, the facilities require you to spend every dollar in asset that you ever owned in your entire life. You deplete everything that your entire net worth. Then the state will help pay for you for end of life care. So Medicaid is the state. So Medicaid will help pay for this. But what we're trying to do is avoid you to have to deplete your entire asset, pay it to a facility. We want you to keep those assets and give it to your kid or family person, right?
So
Medicaid, probably not the best idea because they don't have anything, they're already gonna be covered by the state. Right?
oh yeah, I was gonna say, what if their house is free and clear, but then they wouldn't qualify for Medicaid?
Yeah, if they own a home, or if they own, I mean, literally any asset, car, home, anything, the state takes that. They take it all. So they can pay before you go into a facility. That's what happens to every senior. Yeah, there's people that are scamming Medicaid all the time. It's a huge scam, or huge fraud. What, I would probably just move past it. Yeah, just focus on the people.
That just sounds like a nightmare. If we already know they're scamming people, let's just stay away from that personality. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Whatsoever for any of this part of
People with supplements are great candidates.
They have money already. They have money. And they don't want to lose their money.
And their supplement doesn't cover home health.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so real quick, I do want to cover some of the things that are covered as far as the licensed professional. Half these words I can't pronounce, so I'm going to skip the one so I don't get embarrassed. We have registered nurse, licensed practical or vocational nurse, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, chemotherapy specialist, therapy, respiratory therapy, and medical social services. Those are separate than the home aid.
So again, for this assignment or this exercise, we're not going to be talking about the medical coverage, the prescription benefit, and then the premium. That's it. We talk about more numbers, you're going to lose them. They're going to tell you to send it in the mail.
So
Yes, it does cover all this stuff. If they have that question, you can say confidently yes. But I listened to probably 1,000 of presentations on this, and they don't ask that. Right? Focus on the home health rate. That's what they're buying, and the rebate reimbursement benefit.
It doesn't pay all of those people.
It does.
It does. Oh, it does. I was gonna say.
Yeah. So it is. It's